What's going on, YouTube? My name is FG3000, back in the place to be, and welcome back to Guild Wars 2. Now, I've covered Guild Wars 2 plenty of times on this channel, but the reason why I'm covering it today is more of a PSA. Now, Guild Wars 2 has a new expansion on the horizon called the Path of Fire, and anytime an expansion is announced for an MMO, people look at it, right? And being that Guild Wars 2 is free to play right now, and they have all of this free marketing when it comes to this expansion, many people are jumping into Guild Wars 2 for the very first time. So why is this important to you? So Guild Wars 2 has a different type of questing system. So they use a questing system that is basically like a public quest system. So all of these different areas represent quests. They're not necessarily quest hubs where you go and get an individual quest just for you. You have this public quest where you kind of interact with the environment and people around you, like all these guys right here. We're all in the same public quest together and we can share combat. So like, let's say if there's a mob that we need to kill, we all hit it, we all get credit. So it's very public quest driven. Actually, it's 100% public quest driven. So when you have a game and there is an expansion out and people are playing it for their first time and lots of people are playing in the low levels, that's when you want to play a game like this. If you play a game like Guild Wars 2 outside of like a hype period, it's not going to be a good time for you. It's going to be deathly boring because there's nothing fun about doing a public quest all by yourself. It's just not fun. But what I found on my return trip to Guild Wars 2 for like the 15th time is that right now it feels good. It's not like launch day busy, but I've been, you know, I made a level 20 Norn or Barbarian. I forgot what they're calling this game. I think it's Norn. I made a level 20 something Barbarian and I actually started over to be a human ranger instead. My Norn was a warrior. So I've gone through the game a little bit and I've seen that there is an uptick of people around. And that's exactly what you want. So definitely if you are thinking about coming back to Guild Wars 2, now is the time. Do I want to use that? Nah, I don't want to use this two-hander right now. And, you know, I'm just trying to see if this game is going to capture me. Another cool point about coming into the game right now is that any player whatsoever can demo the Path of Fire expansion. You can actually go through, I don't know how far you can go, but you can do several quests, you can get a mount, all of that in the Path of Fire expansion for free, no matter who you are. All you have to do is log into the default client, the regular old Guild Wars 2 client, and click on demo and you can play the Path of Fire expansion. So not only can you come back to the game for free, you can also check out the expansion to see, hey, do I want to play this game? Do I want to give it a shot? And I will say that the mounts are actually pretty neat, but I'll cover that kind of in a separate video when it comes to the Path of Fire. But right now we're talking about Guild Wars 2, the vanilla version. So as you can see, like right around, like there's people all around me. So this is a really legit time to come back. And I've tried to come back to Guild Wars 2 multiple times, and it really has never stuck. But I'm willing to give the Path of Fire expansion a shot because I always kind of thought that this game lacked mounts. I don't know if that's kind of like a feature that's going to blow everybody away, but I think mounts will be a pretty nice addition. And like I said, I'll talk about more of that once we start talking about Path of Fire. If I get that far, you know, I might be playing this or Guild Wars 2 vanilla version, and I might get to a point where I'm like, yeah, I don't want to do it anymore. So we're going to this cave right here. Playing a ranger, because I have dreams of playing a druid later on, but we'll see how that goes. And one thing about Guild Wars 2, it aged pretty well. I gotta say the graphics are pretty good. The combat's okay. I know a lot of people really love Guild Wars 2 combat. I don't know, it feels a little floaty to me, but it's not bad. And I don't really feel the impact I mean, watch this. Let me kind of give you an example here. Like, I don't know. Like the way my arrows, it's okay. Like that, I don't know, it just doesn't feel like it's very impactful. It's not terrible by any means. Let's be 100% clear. The combat is very good. I'm just saying it's just not there's just a little something missing. But we'll definitely take it because nowadays when you're looking for an MMO to play, you kind of have to take the good with the bad because there's really not a lot on the horizon. So when you kind of pick out an MMO for yourself, you're gonna have to realize that the MMO is gonna have some shortcomings, right? You just gotta, that comes with the territory. So you gotta kind of you have to outweigh the cons with the pros. And I will say that there's more pros in Guild Wars 2 by far than there are cons. Even though, look at that, looks weird. Like her stance when she shoots that arrow and I'm backing up, that's a really interesting contorted position there. That's fine. There's Necro dude in here. This is good, man. Everywhere I go, I see people, and look at that. Robert, what's up, Robert? Nice name, buddy. Really impressed with being able to see people because there's nothing more boring than doing everything by yourself. And I'm sure there are going to be some public quests and some bosses I'm gonna have to kind of solo, but good to know that the game has a nice uptick in population here. So that's kind of all I wanted to cover here. Just a PSA, if you're looking for an MMO, today is Friday, and you want a nice MMO to maybe, you know, last you throughout the weekend, there's plenty of content in here for free. Once again, Guild Wars 2 is free, but you do have to pay for the expansion. So if you're looking to play a Revenant class, you have to have the Heart of Thorns, and of course, later on, if you want to play the Path of Fire, you're gonna have to pay for the Path of Fire. So, pretty straightforward. All right, so I'm done with this little area right here, so I need to get out. So what I'm gonna do, just teleport over here. Boop, boop. So this game has lots and lots of waypoints, which are, you know, whatever. I can't wait for mounts to come in the game. And you will be able to use mounts in the old world. I'm 99.8% sure that you will be able to use mounts in the old world. So do keep that in mind as well, that once you get your mounts, it'll make the game just a lot easier to kind of flow through. Now, one last thing before I kind of end the video here. If you, I think on both of the expansions, you do have the ability to get a free level 80 boost. I mean, that's up to you. It really depends on how you kind of feel about getting free boosts. I'm not a big fan of getting boosts of characters that I've never played before. So like in World of Warcraft, I'll use a boost to get a class of a different race that I'm already familiar with. Look at all these people, man. This is good. So I'll use a boost to play a different race of a class that I'm already familiar with. I typically don't boost characters that I have no like history with and don't know anything about, and Guild Wars 2 would kind of fit that. So I don't know how big that free level 80 boost is for players that have never played the game before, but it is there. But I'd much rather just kind of go through the paces, go through the base game, take it the long way. What's the rush? And kind of play it all the way through. Look at this guy, he's happy too. He's like, yeah, people are playing Guild Wars 2. People are playing Guild Wars 2. Also, let me give you one last disclaimer before I end the video. I know how I am. I know I never end videos when I'm supposed to. The human area is probably going to be the most populated. So when I played my I think they're Norns. Dang it, I think they're Norns. When I played that, there was less people around, and I'm sure if you play the Char and you play the little race and the plant race, there's going to be a lot less people around just because those races are a little less popular. So if you really want to ensure that there's going to be people around, I would definitely recommend going with the humans if you want. At the end of the day, I mean, it's kind of up to you, but if you want to kind of go where the population is, the human areas are definitely going to be the most populated in the beginning, right? And then once you start getting towards the mid and later levels, I think eventually the races kind of merge into similar zones. But that'll be a while, man. There's a lot of content, a lot of hearts to unlock, just a lot. And I don't believe that Guild Wars 2 has lessened how long it takes to level to 80 because they haven't raised their experience cap. So do keep that in mind. All right, guys, that will do. My name is FG3000. This is Guild Wars 2. I'm playing it. I'll be playing it all weekend between this and EverQuest 2, so check it out if you want. My name is Cyan Gosa on this server, or this world server. I think it's just one big massive server anyway, so you should be able to find me if you want. And I'll see you next video. Look at these cool braids. They have new hairstyles and new faces too, by the way, guys, so check it out. Later.